The following video is rated PG for puzzling gameplay. Viewer discretion is advised.
The final open registration major tournament for our community before we start taking this game on every month probably has the most uncertainty going into it. Let's see how the shakeup in our seeding from pre-tournament qualifying shakes up our field of 14 starting today. Hello, puzzlers. This is your head tournament organizer, Cards of the Heart. Welcome to the League of Puzzle Speedrunners Pokemon Puzzle League Speedrun Tournament 2024. This is our annual event dedicated to the game that initially brought us all together, and this is indeed the last time that the tournament will be open registration. After this, we will be holding monthly tournaments for this game that will seed into the main event. So we got a little final chance at history to be made here, and to help me start things off today, we've got a couple of fellow competitors in the tournament that will help me call the first match. First is the defending Pokemon Puzzle League champion, FFR Pro 21.
Yo, how's it going, guys? Yes, I am back. I am ready to defend my title here to try to become a 3-time PPL champion.
And one of the other players that will be looking to stop him along the way is our resident pun master. It is 6.
Hello. It's time for PPL again, where players can upset other players, and the game will upset me.
I think a lot of people end up being upset by this game by the time the tournament is done. You might have to have a bit of a long story on how the qualifying process for this tournament made our players a bit upset as well. Definitely some lessons to be taken away from this process. But our 14 players are ready to take on the one-player stadium for the next 2 months as we crown our PPL 2024 champion. We will be starting the weekend with our first round. We will see 6 great matches on our way to determining a winner's top 8. And we'll figure out how PPL will treat our players today. But first, if you're tuning into this game for the first time and you're not exactly sure how everything works, allow me to take a couple minutes of your time to explain how this game works and how we are playing it in this tournament. Pokemon Puzzle League is a Match 3 puzzle game released for the Nintendo 64 in September 2000 in North America and March 2001 in Europe. It has been re-released multiple times via the Wii Virtual Console in May 2008 and the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack in July 2022. It is a Match 3 puzzle game in that if you match at least 3 of the same panel either horizontally or vertically, the panels will disappear. To win, however, you need to do more than simply match 3 at a time. You need to make combos and chains to not only prevent your gradually rising stack from reaching the top of your playfield for a time, but also to send garbage blocks to your opponent to make their stack reach the top of their playfield. You make combos by matching more than 3 panels in a row at the same time. They don't keep your stack from rising for very long, but they do send small garbage blocks to your opponent that can prove to be very disruptive. You make chains by linking sets of 3 or more matches together. Make a set of panels disappear, and then have the panels immediately above them fall into another match. Not only does this keep your stack from rising for a longer period of time, but it will make thicker garbage blocks that will be more effective at actually filling out your opponent's stack to the top. If your stack reaches the top of your playfield and the game tries to break the stack through the top, you lose, so you want to avoid this at all costs and force it on your opponent as much as possible. To beat these computer opponents, you will have to either make sure that they run out of time while their stack is completely topped off, send so much garbage to your opponent so that they can no longer make a move, or send garbage to your opponent in such a way so that they think they can no longer make a move. Easy mode has 11 stages, normal has 14, hard has 15, and V-hard and S-hard have 16. In this tournament, players will be racing through those stages to get to the end as fast as they can. The first player to defeat the final opponent wins the race. The first player to win a predetermined number of races wins the match. Best of luck to all of our players. So the first round of our tournament will be our now traditional, at this point, popcorn level pick format. We've been bouncing around the early levels of these games for several years now, and it certainly adds a different flavor to the Pokemon Puzzle League and Tetris Attack style gameplay you may have been used to if you only see like the top players doing the top runs. So, for this first round, we are playing the easy, normal, and hard levels. It is a best of 5, so the first to win 3 races will win each match, and we will start each match by having the players pick one of those levels to play first. Then the loser will counterpick one of the other levels to play so that we have our level order for the match. And if we need more than 3 games to decide a winner, then we can repeat one of those level choices. We can double up, we can triple up, we can do whatever it takes to determine a winner from that point. Once we are all done with this process, we will have our PPL 2024 champion who will take home the biggest piece of our crowd-funded prize pool. We have a prize pool for this tournament that could be funded with your support, puzzlers, your direct tips, your Twitch bits, your subscriptions to the Twitch channel will add the listed amounts on screen for each tier. And if we reach our initial goal of $500, then we can pay out more of this top bracket from the top 4 to the top 8. And then somehow if we reach $1,000, then we will hit the top 16 entirely. Everyone that plays in this tournament will get a piece of the pool. If you want to give your direct tips, there is a link on screen to submit those, and I believe the !pool command in our live Twitch chat will serve to take you to that page as well. Alright, we've got a bit of an elephant in the room we need to discuss for a few minutes before we start the matches. It is our qualifying. So, the way we did qualifying for this tournament, if you have seen our recent Tetris Attack tournaments, then you have seen how the format goes, but when it comes to Pokemon Puzzle League, when the opponents get a lot harder to beat, there turns out to be a lot more variance. So, for this tournament, I asked all of our players to take 2 hours of their time to complete one attempt at each of the one-player stadium levels. Yes, that does include S-hard, and no, not everyone was also able to finish an S-hard within the 2 hours. It was quite the train wreck to see unfold. It's fun to see once, but I don't think we'll be doing this format again. But after about a week of people trying their hand at one-shotting each of these one-player stadium levels, we are left with these 14 players in these positions. In fact, BB Forky didn't even bother trying to post a run. Maybe that was a sign right there that things were not what they were meant to be. Also, Octo Oil tried to get in a good second run and just could not do it, so she is at the 14 seed. But in our 9 through 12 seeds, we have first-time PPL participant Kanayo getting a little over 75 points, all thanks in no small part to that 50-minute S-hard holding them back, as well as a new competitor Deagle getting a 28-28 S-hard in route to a 10th place finish. Tetris Attacker was 11th, a veteran of the scene. And one of our newcomers, LuckyOwl360, who we will see in just a little bit, posted sometimes. And we were glad to see her come along. Then we had a bit of a shakeup in the top 8, I must say, with Tayman falling all the way seemingly to 5th place in the qualifying, thanks to a 21:54 V-hard time that he was certainly not pleased with, followed by Ty, I Like Being Smart, ever so close in 7th, and GamerX459 rounding out that top 8. And then it was the top 4. We see Fate7799 in his 3rd Pokemon Puzzle League tournament, posting a 4th place finish. Then our very own 6 placing 3rd, and then the top 2 seeds FFR were you and I, who had the least trouble with all of these levels. But FFR seemed like a lot of people were having trouble with the format, just getting all of the runs done in time. What do you think about that?
Yeah, especially when we get to the higher difficulties. Unfortunately, this is not like Tetris Attack on very hard, where the opponents, when they, clear the garbage, they more or less just sit there. So as long as you can, reasonably chain, they'll eventually just go down. But Pokemon Puzzle League is just a much different beast, especially on the higher difficulties, where single stages can go on for several minutes, and even for most players is quite an accomplishment just to even complete as hard at all. So you definitely gotta commend the players for giving it their best shot, especially on the highest difficulty. It is very, very challenging.
This year, I think everybody got shot by variants. I mean, I did get these times, but the Mewtwo's, they were 2.5 minutes and then 6.5 minutes. So if those were quick kills, I don't know, I could be sitting on the seated throne there. It could just come down to that. So there is a lot of chaos in the opening seeding, at least for PPL, when you just give everybody one run, which is kind of exciting, but maybe other players think that that's going a little bit too far, and there can be a balance between chaos and order. It's just all personal preference, but hey, I'm pretty high up, so there's that this year.
I did realize that I just muted myself when I asked Six that question about his thoughts about the qualifying, and did remark that Six was one of the few people to post a sub 30-minute time in S-Hard, and it really showed, especially when I set the mark so early on with a 22:38. That was a tough hill to climb for everyone else, but FFR, sweeping the other difficulties and getting the top scores, managed to do just that and ascend to that number 1 seed. And thanks to that number 1 seed with those times, and then my number 2 seed with my S-Hard time, we have been granted buys from the first round of this bracket. So we've got 6 matches that we'll be bringing you this weekend with that only have the easy, normal, and hard levels to contend with. On the bottom side of the bracket, we will see tomorrow we have 7 seed I Like Being Smart taking on the 10 seed Deagle, 3 seed 6, the 14 Octo Oil, and then the 6-11 tie against Tetris Attacker. But we will see the top side of the bracket today, also featuring a doubleheader between the 4 seed Fate and the 13 seed BB Forky, and then the 8-9 matchup GamerX459 Kanile at the end. But first up, FFR, it is Tayman and Lucky Owl in the 5-12, and this certainly has an interesting dynamic to it, if nothing else. For Owl's first time here. We were talking a little before the show about how kind of interesting this is. Do you think this is a particularly interesting matchup?
Yeah, it's particularly interesting. Even though this is, of course, Lucky Owl's first ever tournament with us. For the last little while, Lucky Owl has been looking up to Tayman. So this is kind of like sort of a, I guess in a way a teacher versus student type of match. Would you probably say that maybe?
That's certainly a possibility. We can find out if RNG does have it in them to have the student surpass the teacher at some point. Because yes, on paper, Lucky Owl is just starting her Pokemon Puzzle League speedrunning journey, and Tayman has been with us for years. He's our PPL 2020 champion, for crying out loud. He's been around the block with this game more than a few times. So let's start. Let me ask this question to both of you, starting with 6. Do either of you think Owl has a chance to win a game today? Let's not. Maybe it's a bit much to call for the upset, but will she win a game today?
So in my first year of PPL tournamenting, I went up against Tayman and I could not take a game. And just looking at both of their performances briefly, it's maybe within a minor touching ends of bell curves for hard mode, but besides that, it seems close to free for Tayman, but hopefully Lucky Owl doesn't really give a hoot and will just try and give the best performance possible and make an impression for the lower of the double elimination bracket here, and maybe even future tournaments, because there is definitely a lot of potential for the future.
Yeah, I can definitely see Lucky Owl taking a game on hard difficulty, because hard difficulty does have quite a bit of variance. We've seen the later opponents on hard take a couple 2-3 minutes sometimes. So, and Tayman does get pretty salty when things aren't exactly going his way, and that usually leads to his downfall when it comes to his performance.
Certainly makes you wonder, doesn't it? We seem to have some takers in our live Twitch chat predicting that Lucky will take one game off of Tayman, and maybe it's the hard level. Maybe we'll see it sooner rather than later if that is going to be the case. So let's not keep our players waiting any longer. Let's get this Pokemon Puzzle League Speedrun Tournament 2024 off the ground with 5 versus 12, TaymanND versus LuckyOwl360, and it's gonna start right now. Let's see if we can get some good game audio from our players. And once the audio balancing is in place, then we will have our first game underway, and it is on the hard difficulty. FFR, how do you feel about this as the level choice for the first game?
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. I mean, some players do enjoy hard mode because the speed of the game is the highest on the highest on level 4, which is actually still fairly slow if you're used to Tetris attack, but some people do really enjoy hard mode because it is kind of the most, I guess, consistent mode, I guess, in this game.
There's certainly some consistency to it, where the strategy will be kind of the same throughout. As our timers are counting down, ready to start this game, one of this best of 5. 6, what are your thoughts on hard mode as a speed run?
It's probably it has variance for sure, but it is probably the most determined by your own skill level. Like, really snowballing out of control stages will generally only happen by something that you caused. Now, when it comes to people with similar skill level, that's where a ton of variance kicks in still. It's not really that determinable whether you win a hard stage in like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, depending on what the AI does. So there's like little time advantages there. I think the biggest thing is just never having a really, really bad stage.
Agreed. And generally, when you send a good attack that tops off the opponent right away, they generally do go down in a reasonable amount of time there. As you can see, TaymanND's already off to a fast start with that nice little 9-second Brock.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see the top players try and make some really aggressive chains early on. X3 chain might be the order of the day, depending on the number of combos you can make, but you can kind of see the strategy that TaymanND is putting in here. That's kind of the most tried and true strategy.
But it's going to work because the left side. Nice.
Yeah, a short chain with some extra combos there. So the way we try to approach these opponents, by and large, hey,
perfect attack from LuckyOwl there.
Good work from Owl to get the 12-second Misty stage there, and you may have seen in that stage it was a separation of combo garbage. There are two things at play when these stages do work out. You're looking for that garbage to. You're looking at that small garbage to separate from the larger garbage, and
no.
Oh, that was a bit close. There, Owl made up 9 seconds on that stage, which is certainly not atypical for these hard mode races. Expect to see even more levels of variance like that throughout the run. But there are two things happening here that allow these combo strategies to work. One, if you lead your attack with a combo before you start your chain, then any garbage you make during that chain, by and large, will fall on your opponent before the big chain garbage will. And considering how uneven these opponents leave their stacks, that will more often than not leave them running out of time trying to deal with the lowest garbage block. They have to deal with the lowest garbage block on their field first. That's basically how these CPUs are programmed, and it can lead to some very hilarious results, which we will probably see towards the end of this tournament. But right now, TaymanND is definitely taking care of business, and LuckyOwl is certainly having a time with Erica here. Oh, if you let any of these foes in the fight for any amount of time, they are certainly fast enough to waste a fair bit of time.
That was a case if you give them an inch, they take 45 seconds.
Indeed, they do. So already Tayman, as we approach the midway point of this 15-stage run, has a full stage lead. But watch out for Gary the Second, though. FFR, we've seen some hard mode runs end in some very tragic ways in these tournaments.
Oh yes, yeah, Gary too at on the final 15th stage here on hard mode has definitely got quite a bit of cursor speed, and I have seen and had some pretty epic and pretty nasty Gary 2s that have definitely ruined many runs and many races for people.
Tayman saved that chain. I'm pretty sure that wasn't what he was intending, but still managed to top Blaine off. One clear, but probably not another. Okay.
So exiting the Blaine stage at about 5 minutes. I don't think Tayman's super pleased by that pace, but it's certainly not all that awful by any stretch. And also, don't worry about Lucky Owl's timer. It was kind of like last minute for her to like put it on the layout so that we could all see her race time, but we'll just follow Tayman's timer for the overall time of the race. They're pretty well synced. And
technically, all you need is to record a speedrun is the full single segment video. So even if your timer stops or breaks for whatever reason, just keep playing. We can determine it. You can determine it if you can do subtraction on a VOD.
Yeah, we got ways to easily figure out the times for these players' runs, so not a big deal if their timers get messed up.
In fact, we use racetime.gg to automate timing these runs, and so we know as soon as players are finished with their runs, assuming they've operated their timers correctly, what their final times are. We've been using racetime.gg for a few years now in timing these, and it's pretty good. Like if you want to have a speedrun race with people, racetime.gg is probably the go-to site right now to get your to automate timing in stopwatches and such for these races. So yeah, racetime.gg, check it out if you are interested in speedrunning and want to speedrun against other people. I mean, like, speedrunning against people is like the whole reason I got into this game in the first place.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, I guess Tayman was kind of
Giovanni.
stuck by Giovanni's, waiting for Giovanni's garbage on him to resolve, and he didn't have him topped off. So, I guess if you see like where you are compared to the other racer, that's probably not much worse than trying to scramble to get like 5 chains on just half the screen. Okay, sure.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, resetting the stage is kind of an innovation for the later levels that we've had, like, since I don't know, like 2015, 2016 maybe, when we started adopting resetting stages that go bad for the later levels. You almost never see it on hard mode, so a lot has to go wrong for a hard mode run to get a stage reset in the middle. But it's working out so far for Tayman. He is comfortably in this lead. Lucky Owl has been trying to build up some chains to beat these opponents. She's still kind of new to this, so the combo game is not quite at the level she would need to keep up with Tayman. So yeah, if you can't combo, chain more, because there's no such thing as Nover kill. I think is that the word you gave, Six? I can never remember.
I mean, basically, the thing is, we've already seen, if you're just short a little bit, the these CPU opponents will take advantage of that, sometimes by multiple stop time buys and clears, and you just want to minimize that trolling as much as possible by setting it in 1.
Oh boy, Lorelei trying to waste a lot of Tayman's time here.
I would say it's not enough stop time, but PPL always finds a way to give them so much stop time.
Yeah, kind of one of the annoying things about this game is that most of the time when a new garbage block falls on the opponent's stack, their initial, I guess, stack health, like when their stack first reaches the top of the screen, does get reset. So that, and the AI can use that to their advantage to just simply waste time even by just down stacking.
Tayman needs a second attack as quickly as possible, but looks like, oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, fine.
Bruno down stacking into a chain there to clear the combo garbage. I was going to lay the trap for him, but
One more line.
They're still a bit slow. So Bruno was able to not get to anything else in time, and Lucky Owl's Lorelei is not able to get to anything else there either. So Al is one stage behind Tayman, heading into the final stage of this run, and garbage has been leveled off, and Gary has started clearing garbage. And unlike in the tournaments that you may have been seeing more recently on this channel for Tetris Attack, these foes are able to line up chains from garbage, and oh yeah, that stage was going absolutely nowhere. So certainly a cause to.
Lucky Owl's right there.
Yeah, that's part of the risk with the stage resets. Tayman is not on a particularly good run right now, so if Owl does get as lucky as her namesake suggests, and Gary does that again.
Okay, this looks a little bit more convenient.
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Out of time.
Okay.
Tayman's Gary going for the wrong match, and that will do it for Tayman's Game 1. Tayman will take the game with a time of 11 minutes, 29 seconds.
That got spooky, but he did what he needed to, and that's what counts.
So let's give him the first Pokeball and see it spin for a little bit as it appears. We'll see if Al can finish this one off on a good note. Again, we've seen so many a hard run end to a tragic Gary 2, and this one is proving to be no different. She's having a little bit of trouble sending enough chains.
You get punished the most by being short here, so honestly, depending on where you are, maybe just overkill them by a lot, just to ensure that they don't reset their health by not being topped off, because that can be killer.
Yeah.
Alright, so Lucky Owl is finished. Again, she's having some troubles with her timer, so we'll count this as a dot done for Owl at about 12:40. So there's a little bit less than that, but to get some relative idea of when it was she finished, we'll record it as that. I'll tell Al. I will. Let's see here. Let me make sure that Al knows how to operate the race timer before we move on to the next game.
I like the option to automatically integrate your race time application, your the race time races with your live split application so that I don't have to think too much. I just hit the button the appropriate number of times and boom! It's all in there.
Okay. So that is 1 Pokeball for Tayman out of 3. And we will move on to the next run, which Lucky Owl has declared that we will play in the normal level. Which really there's no other real choice. And best of 5 with 3 levels to choose from. Kind of have to pick there are meager pickings there. All right. So normal mode is the pick for game 2, and if you thought the later levels of this game were slow compared to Tetris Attack, well, normal mode you might find to be a bit of an excruciating experience. Like honestly, this is my best level of all of them, and at least if the leaderboards are anything to go by. FFR, how do you feel about normal mode as a speedrun?
Normal mode's kind of tricky. At least for me, it's tricky. It's kind of the worst of both easy and hard. It's got kind of the worst of easy mode because normal plays at speed level 2 compared to easy mode's level 1, which are both incredibly slow. And then normal's also got the worst of hard because the layer opponents actually do get pretty quick. They do eventually garner a little bit of cursor speed, and you know that can be a little problematic on the on such a slow speed like this.
So we need a pretty hefty attack on this Gary because he's not going to really raise his stack ever. So you need a little bit more oomph compared to the later stages. Some annoyance from both of them. Lucky Owl needs 2 more lines, 1 more line. They're there. I just need to drop in time before he gets the match, but he finds it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a Gary for you.
Indeed. Everyone starts with 5 lines in their normal stack. Gary does not raise at the start of normal levels, so yeah, you have to send at least 7 lines to these foes, and depending on how fast Gary's able to get to some chains here, he might need 8 or 9 lines, as Al unfortunately had to witness. But oh my, there is a 10 from Tayman, showing that once you get past the Gary hurdle, the rest of the stages might move very fast if you send some fast chains like he was doing for the start of
that
the
was
hard
just
level.
sitting there for Brock. I want to see some rubber banding, not whatever the opposite of rubber banding is.
Oh, that one basically needed 6 lines for Tayman because he did not have the second 4 combo in the lead. So we still want to try and distract these earlier opponents with 4 combos to get those garbage blocks down and get them distracted, but it's not a super necessity here. You kind of just want to do it for like stacking purposes. If you're going to send 4 or 5 lines quickly, you probably want the combos to serve as one of those lines, so you can make 2 lines of garbage at a time instead of
Scamming.
just 1.
Scamming.
Wow,
Scamming
the
even
scam.
more.
That is some That is some scab, and that is some salt from Tayman. He is so not pleased, and I would not be pleased either.
And
another
right
garbage clear. Owl just needs a couple more lines to top off.
It's just available.
Surge.
There it
He
goes.
needs to raise her stack.
Yeah, Razor stack, send more garbage. It's kind of the one issue I've been noticing with Lucky Owl. She's just... Her bad stages are because she's just not keeping the opponent topped off. There's just been times where the opponent clears the garbage and then she doesn't have any more to send, so they end up getting extra time to do more stuff, which ultimately leads to, you know, some pretty bad stages, unfortunately. So
Well, Tayman is not having the best time right now with his run, having to vent after consecutive stages of getting garbage clears. Like, those garbage clears are so wasteful in time, and especially at this speed level. Like this is speed level 2. I mean, like, Tetris Attack's easy level played at speed level 2. So this is unbearably slow for most of our players who are used to higher speeds. Oh, and Koga's still not topped off here.
yeah, could you imagine if PPL actually followed Tetris Attack levelly? Oh dear. No, dear Tay.
Okay, like, Koga doesn't have a clear on Lucky Owl's side. Oh, also one line short.
Oh, I'm still having trouble building chains. Did Tayman press pause to maybe do a reset? Did I see that right?
Yeah, he thought about it. Probably should have done it. Maybe?
They're gonna time out eventually.
No, they do run out of time. They don't normally take a minute, but they do run out of time at some point. But at the moment, this has given Lucky Owl about a 8-second lead. So it's still very early. We're still just now getting to the halfway point of our 14-stage run, but some bad luck from Tayman has allowed Lucky Owl to take care of business. And if she gets a few more of those 13 and such second stages, you never know. You never know what we'll see here. Okay, Sabrina, how do you have time to get to that garbage clear?
Oh my goodness.
Sabrina's not getting to the right side. No, she's not.
Okay.
It's fine. Ish.
That is unreal. Oh my,
combo.
that's a 12 combo.
Hey.
A 12
so maybe
combo
Lucky Owl does have some combo game after all. That is not too often you see combos that big, but excellent job.
Okay. Excuse me for game not recognizing game, but that is Lucky Owl getting into a little bit of a lead here. Let's see if these later stages. Let's see if she can keep up the pace on these later stages, or if Tayman will find some quick attacks to come back with. Oh, that short attack almost did it.
Now I'm gonna need a lot of lines because Trace is gonna downstack this. Okay, Tayman found the attack. And that Tracy can't get to anything. Unfortunately, Tracy with a larger amount of panels can. The punishments.
Okay, this is gonna be a lot of down stacking for Lucky's gear, Tracy here. Yeah, it's just too much down stacking. Just not enough cursor speed for the AI there.
And just the Tayman with the experience to get to all this stuff. Like, you can't really get the S hard record by by not sending attacks quickly, and Tayman is certainly one of the best in our community at that, and he is certainly showing why he is one of the favorites to win the tournament, despite being a 5 seed. And okay, a 10-second stage from Owl's Team Rocket.
That's what we call an oops kill.
Oops, all 10-second rockets. Okay, Tayman will
actually got some nice pillars there.
We'll respond with a 13 there, and with 3 stages to go, Tayman has a kind of comfortable lead here. I'd say kind of, because we've already seen one stage go over a minute. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility for other later stages with faster opponents to get over a minute. Tayman going for 4 chains now to top off these opponents, which I would probably say is justified. Oh,
it's
Richie
flat.
gets to the green garbage clear.
Automatic chain.
These
That's gonna
foes
buy
are
a little
slow,
bit of
but
extra stop
they can
time.
set up a few chains. Wow, 33
It works,
seconds.
but nope, it gets to the on LuckyOwl side too.
Oh, Richie gets to the garbage clear. It's just gonna waste more and more time. And yeah, Owl is settling for smaller chains when her stack is low, but you really do want more panels to work with. It's easy to get scared of the high stack if your opponent is going to send anything to you. These early opponents, though, are really hard pressed to send any amount of garbage of any worth to you. So please get in the habit of raising your stack so you get more ammunition. And just like that, Tayman is on the final stage, but if he slips up, Lucky Owl has an opportunity. But Bruno will be the one that screws
Got the flow
up.
now.
And Tayman has finished Game 2 with a time of 10 minutes, 10 seconds. So that will be good enough for Pokeball number 2. And I tell you, Lucky Owl's definitely putting up a fight here. She's getting some chains together. Oh, some good pillars here, and that will be a quick finish for Owl. We'll log that as a 10:38. So I think by all accounts, she did so much better She did so much better on that one.
Yeah, at one point, Lucky Owl actually had a lead in the race, and definitely did her best to try to take advantage. So definitely props to her for keeping up.
Alright, with that, we will get our Game 3 going shortly, and we are playing on the easy level for Game 3, and this is speed level 1. Why did this have to be speed level 1? This is so slow. This is such a slow level. We don't really need this. But this is how the game was programmed, so if we're going to play the easy level, this is what we have to deal with 6.
This is arguably more punishing than normal if you don't get the correct attack in, so both players just need to make sure they do that. Tayman has been a little bit iffy on some of these attacks, but they have been enough so far. That's what counts. But yeah, maybe even play it safe on easy with like super overkill, given like the dynamics of what's at play here. Either way, I do think he's still got this as long as nothing wilder than normal PPL variance happens here.
Yeah, generally on easy mode, the AI is, so slow that, if you send an attack quick enough, they're more or less can't really do much of anything most of the time. So this is really just, just sending quick attacks and topping off the opponent as fast as possible.
Alright, our players are about to be off for Game 3. Looks like Owl's stream is about 5 seconds in the past compared to TaymanND, so we'll keep that in mind as we head through these next 11 stages. Oh, hey, that's a 10 combo. And
that was a
compared...
flurry. Not very nice stage 1 from TaymanND. It's not easy to get a time like that on the first stage of easy.
Yeah, or even the first 2 stages of easy, because the first 2 opponents actually don't raise their stack. So, a lot of the times you're going to need, 7, even 8 lines of garbage at times. And especially when the game is playing this slow, it is difficult to try to send that amount of garbage very quickly.
So if you are, though, then getting under 15 seconds like TaymanND was able to just pull off there is certainly a good feat to go for. But for the most part, our players will be trying to finish their stages in under 20 seconds each, which like Owl was able to do on her Gary. But after that, these opponents behave a little bit better and will simply get taken down by 3 or 4 lines of garbage, depending on how fast you're able to send it. TaymanND doing a masterful job of that so far. Also, a note to the live audience, we are directly capturing Twitch streams live, so if any Twitch affiliates are getting onto ad breaks, we really don't have a way to get around those. So we'll just have to live with that, because the logistics of trying to capture streams a different way is a bit of a nightmare, as we've already found out over the years. So TaymanND not having the best time with his Lieutenant Surge. Going to be taken down in 23 seconds, and that's a 22 for Lucky Owl, so she does make up a second on that stage. And if you're able to make up like 2-3 seconds of a stage on every stage throughout a run like this, it is possible to make a comeback. It's the thing that's going to make it hard for Lucky Owl is TaymanND is sending these attacks so fast that these opponents just do not have any time to react at all. Okay.
The attacks are coming in.
Attack.
Netherwork is not going to clear anything. Okay.
If she can start attacks like that just a little bit faster than that, then she has a chance to force a game 4. That's certainly possible. Again, this is a best of 5, so TaymanND is now on triple match point.
I think TaymanND ran into the digital equivalent of a tongue twister there.
Oh boy, this Koga really wasting a lot of time here. And ooh, that gives Lucky Owl a little bit of a lead. They actually made up 16 seconds just on that one stage alone.
Where's that video of the calm owl that has its eyes open really wide? I want that right now.
Certainly making you wonder.
Okay, there's an
Alright.
attack difference there, and okay, that might be the separation, all the separation we need here. Yep.
Ooh, and that's a 3 chain for Sabrina on LuckyOwl side. That's gonna waste quite a bit of time right there, but does go down.
It's still possible from here. Some other things will have to happen to Tayman for Owl
Yellows.
to make a comeback, but
No, he messed it up.
it's certainly possible.
Okay.
Not if these opponents are going to go out of order like that one, though. That might be a bit of a long-term problem for Lucky Owl's prospects. But she, to her credit, she is keeping this very close for the apparent mismatch that is happening on paper. Not much of a chain from Tayman, but does get the combos to make up for it, and still going to get an 11-second stage as a result. So Tayman might be on pace for something in the 630s when this run is all said and done, and by and large, I don't think Tayman will be happy with that.
Yo, good. Actually, good vision from Lucky Owl to cut off that chain and not send any more than she needs to and get the 13 on that Tracy. That's something even, like, intermediate players have trouble doing sometimes, focusing more on their own board. So, good job on noticing exactly what you need. That rocket's not going to get anywhere, and Tayman just has one more stage to basically just send a healthy attack and then wait for Giovanni to topple over.
That is usually how it goes. Oh, that's a nice attack from Owl. So she's got a chance to finish this easy run under 7 minutes, and that could give her the game if Tayman does not find a way to get a clean attack here. I don't consider this attack to be all that particularly clean, but
what he wanted to start it, but that's how he's going to finish it.
Nothing.
Okay.
Giovanni had time for nothing else and just wants that out of his life as soon as possible. I cannot blame him.
Yeah, that last attack was a bit segmented from Tayman, but it was still effective nonetheless.
Yo.
And hey, that's a sub 7 easy for Lucky Owl. Very nice.
Yep, we'll count that as a 657. That's pretty cool.
There were only, like, really 2 noticeable player skill bobbles there. That was enough for Tayman to take it, but yeah, that's I call it a pretty competitive time, and Lucky Owl should feel pretty proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, she kept up with one of the top players within a stage pretty much that whole race.
I mean, after that first race, I think Owl kind of composed herself a little bit, and she was able to stay within a couple seconds on average per stage behind Tayman. So yeah, the score will not reflect just how close this match was. So with the 641 easy time, it will be our number 5 seed in PPL 2020 champion Tayman getting the 3rd Pokeball and the win. Well done for Tayman, taking care of business. We'll see what that means for the next round of play. But so far Tayman doing what he needed to do. So let's make sure that we can give a result to this match as only we can. Tayman wins 3-0, and we'll be moving on to the next round, where we will add the V-Hard level to the possible options for the 5-game set. So depending on how the first round plays out, Tayman will be playing the winner of the 4-13 matchup we will see next, Fate7799 and BB Forky. That certainly has a chance to get V-Hard involved in the mix. Though that match could get quite wild depending on who is going to be playing FFR.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite interesting, especially when we get into the later rounds where we, sort of give our players, extra popcorn, I guess, if you will, to work with. We're starting with the small bucket of popcorn. We're just moving up to the medium, and then later on the large bucket of popcorn.
Alright, let's see if our bracket is up to date. And there it is. There is a Tayman awaiting the winner of Fate7799 and BB Forky, and FFR Bro, you are going to await the winner of the other match that we are going to see next, GamerX459 and Kanayo. How much are you looking forward to seeing how these two matches fare?
Yeah, these should be good matches. It's also nice to see quite a few other Canadians also participating as well in Fate and Kanayo, and I guess we'll say Tayman as well. Why not?
I mean, on paper, it's going to be you and Tayman in the winners semis, where we get easy through S hard as options for the 5 games. So we could see you two duking it out in all of the levels if that match gets played very close. But we've got a long way to go until we get to that point. So for those of you watching live, we will be looking to get the next set of matches ready for you in just a little bit. It'll be the 4-seed Fate7799 and the 13-seed BB Forky against each other, alongside GamerX459 and Kanayo taking each other on in best of 5 easy to hard combat. So stay tuned. You are watching the League of Puzzle Speedrunners Pokemon Puzzle League Speedrun Tournament 2024.